Stories like the one I'm about to tell you right now really make me wonder, what's the excuse for this? I'll tell you the excuse after the video. On May 29, 2023, a Columbia convenience store owner is charged with the murder of shooting a 14-year-old boy to death. According to the Richland County Sheriff's Department, Rick Chow, who owns the Shell gas station on Park Lane Road in Columbia, chased down Cyrus Carmack-Belton from the store around 8 p.m. on a Sunday night. The owner accused Carmack of shoplifting in the store. It would be a couple water bottles. But it turned out that Cyrus had never shoplifted those water bottles and he got chased down for no reason. Honestly, fucking water bottles. He just came up with anything to say. It also said the gun was recovered from the victim. Yeah, I think that's bullshit. I think the Asian planted that gun on him. You mean to tell me that he's badass enough to be 14 carrying around a handgun, but he's not badass enough to steal water bottles? I don't believe it. Thankfully, the murderer was charged with murder and not manslaughter like certain people get off with, a certain select group of people. Meanwhile, certain other groups can defend themselves in their household and they'll be charged with fucking murder. It's interesting. Days later, it was also updated that the store owner had shot at people before near his gas station where more than likely they didn't do shit, and more than likely were black people that were accused of stealing sticks of gum. And I find it so interesting, Twitter just doesn't want to talk about this at all. You see in wokeness, you see all these bullshit white supremacist type, because that's all there is that you can see on Twitter now. It doesn't matter if you block them, it doesn't matter if you just try to block that. And I really don't even want to block it out. I want to see the dumb shit that they have to say. But at the same time, all you see on the internet is the same shit. The regurgitated fucking messages that they have. They don't cover stories like this. But that Indian that crashed that U-Haul and did fucking nothing with a Nazi flag claiming that he was a white supremacist. And let's get something straight here. You can be Indian, you could be dark skinned and be a white supremacist. Dude, that's a religion. I don't know why y'all think you have to be white to be a white supremacist. Nobody ever said that. That's another deflection. Another fucking deflection. But anyway, they're gonna focus on the Indian that crashed that U-Haul and did fucking nothing, acting like he was a psyop. But this Asian right here, if they cover that, that's gonna be like, oh wow, we have to admit that Asians do have a vast hatred for black people. And if we admit that, that means that white supremacy is an actual thing, which we don't need y'all to confirm. The proof is in the pudding. But also the reason they won't cover this is because there's nothing to go after the boy with. See, they'll cover and blow Jordan Neely out of proportion because Jordan Neely was a piece of shit. According to his criminal record, he's a piece of shit. So they're going to beat that into the ground because they're going to be like, and the point of this shit wasn't even that. The point of that was Jordan Neely that day, he wasn't doing shit but yelling at people for him to get him something to eat. Regular, everyday, retarded, homeless people shit. Regular, everyday. And you see whites, Asians, drug addicts do that shit all the time. They don't get choked out. That dude held that chokehold for 15 long ass fucking time, killed somebody. The cops reluctantly took him to jail. The media didn't even want to let that dude's name out. Then when he gets to jail, he's donated millions of fucking dollars. He becomes a millionaire overnight, basically, because he choked some black dude out. You can't make this shit up. Ironically enough, that was the biggest fucking example of white supremacy to date. That was like a white supremacist speed run. Look at the smirk on this dude's mugshot. The air of arrogance in that fucking mugshot. He thinks he's going to get off easy. And there's a chance he will. That shit's crazy. So here's what happened. He wanted to target a young black boy. He's like, oh, black boy with dreads. Oh shit. He wanted to target him. Let's say the boy did have a gun and he may have saw it before. He was trying to provoke that boy so he would use his gun so he can claim self-defense. But the boy probably peeped that shit and tried to leave. Saw he was tweeting. The Asian man wanted to chase him down. He wanted that self-defense so fucking bad. That's if the boy even owned that gun, which I still don't believe he did. So we already know what's gonna happen. They're gonna try to give this Asian a light sentence, and they're gonna bring up a whole heap of shit that the 14-year-old boy probably did. He kicked a cat or some shit, and they're gonna make him seem like, oh, he deserved to die, and that Asian's gonna get a slap on the wrist. If he doesn't get a minimum of 30 to fucking life, it doesn't make any sense. He needs to be dead in that jail. There's no reason that 50-something-year-old old-ass Asian man should ever see the light of day again. And he was comfortable with that. I hope you guys know that too. That Asian man was like, alright, I'm old. Let me try to get myself a black boy. Let me try to get another nigger under the belt. Because he's probably done this before to black people. Just hasn't been covered. But yeah, I'm saddened that this has happened to this boy. This is not just another, oh, look, this death has happened. There's more fuel to talk about white supremacy. No, it's not. Very sad that Cyrus has lost his life so early from the hands of an evil piece of shit. And don't feel bad donating to Cyrus's family like the white supremacists try to make us feel bad for donating to George Floyd's family. Don't ever feel bad about that. Support his family if you can. And rest in peace, Cyrus Carmack-Belton.